experts in Moscow have clipped down on security as the top of the Wagner-hired soldier bunch professed to have held on to control of all tactical locales in the city of Rostov-on-Wear and requested that Russia's tactical administration come to him in the wake of blaming them for killing his powers. Yevgeny Prigozhin demanded that Russia's top general Valery Gerasimov and defense minister Sergei Shoigu visit Rostov, 1,000 kilometers south of Moscow, in early morning social media videos. He claimed to be at the headquarters of the Southern Military District, SMD, in Rostov. In one video, while seated between two senior Russian generals, Prigozhin stated, "We have arrived here. We want to receive the chief of the general staff and Shoigu. We'll be here, blockading Rostov and heading for Moscow unless they show up." He told Russians not to believe what they were told on state television, saying that planes participating in the Ukraine offensive were taking off as usual from the airfield under Wagner's control. When they tell you that PMC Wagner interfered with work and caused a frontal collapse, believe them. He addressed Russians. Not for this reason did things on the front collapse. There is a significant loss of territory. 3 and 4 times as many soldiers have been killed as stated in documents presented to the top. Social media posts and videos showed tanks outside the SMD headquarters, which is crucial to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as well as armed men walking around the city of Rostov's regional police headquarters. The footage could not be verified. Prigozhin vowed to take revenge and stop the evil brought by the military leadership of the country in an extraordinary series of audio clips that he began to release late on Friday. He claimed that a Russian rocket attack had killed numerous of his fighters. He then left another voice message in the early hours of Saturday, claiming that his forces had left Ukraine and were entering Rostov. "We have now passed through all of the border crossing points. The border guards greeted us and gave our fighters hugs." He stated, "We are now entering Rostov. We will destroy everything if anyone stands in our way. Everyone is welcome to try our hand. We move forward, and we're on our way." According to the FSB security service, Prigozhin's statements and actions were calls for the start of an armed civil conflict on the territory of the Russian Federation, and the agency filed a criminal case against him for armed mutiny. Sergei Sobyanin, the mayor of Moscow, stated that additional road checks and other anti-terrorist measures were being implemented in the Russian capital to enhance security. Military vehicles appeared to be seen on the streets in unconfirmed footage. A military convoy's movement, according to authorities, caused the M4 highway, which links Moscow to the south, to be closed to traffic at the border with the Voronezh region. The governor of the Rostov region urged residents not to go into the city center and not to leave their homes if at all possible. On Telegram, Vasily Golubev stated that the authorities were doing everything necessary to ensure the safety of residents in the area. In the past, images of armored vehicles on the city's streets were shared by local media. According to a Telegram channel associated with Russian security services, Baza, helicopters were observed hovering over it. Dmitry Peskov, the spokesperson for Russian President Vladimir Putin, stated only that Putin was aware of the situation unfolding around Prigozhin and that all necessary measures are being taken. Putin has not commented on the situation. The deputy commander of Russia's campaign in Ukraine, General Sergei Surovikin, had previously issued a video message instructing the mercenaries to remain loyal to Putin. Surovikin, who was previously believed to be close to Prigozhin, stated, "I urge you to stop. The foe is only trusting that the inside political circumstance will demolish in our country." The country's most well-known news anchor, Yekaterina Andreeva, denied Prigozhin's claims of a Russian military attack on his fighters and reiterated the FSB statement on state-run Channel 1's special news bulletin early on Saturday. Not to make irreparable mistakes, to stop any forceful actions against the Russian people, not to carry out the criminal and treacherous orders of Prigozhin, and to take measures to detain him. The FSB urged Wagner fighters to refrain from. Prigozhin has clashed with Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and senior military commanders in an unprecedented escalation of infighting among Russia's elite. Whether Prigozhin's threats also targeted the Kremlin was not immediately clear. This is a march of justice, not a military coup. In one message, the Wagner chief stated that the majority of soldiers were on his side, and that our actions do not hinder the armed forces in any way. For months, the warlord has been arguing with high-ranking military officers about battlefield failures, focusing on Shoigu. Earlier on Friday, Prigozhin had denied Moscow's claims that Kiev planned to launch an offensive in February 2022 on the Russian-controlled territories in eastern Ukraine, and accused the leadership of Moscow of lying to the public about the justifications for invading Ukraine. In the harshest criticism of any prominent Russian war figure of the decision to attack Ukraine, the tirade directly contradicted Putin's justification for the invasion and suggested that it was based on lies. The Service of Safeguard is attempting to hoodwink the general population and the president and twist the story that there was crazy degrees of hostility from the Ukrainian side, and that they plan to go after us along with the entire NATO bloc, the Wagner head said. Additionally, Prigozhin stated that Russia's leadership could have avoided the war by negotiating with Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. According to Tatiana Stanovaya, who is the founder of the political analysis firm R-Politik, Prigozhin appeared to have reached a limit after testing the limits of his power for months. Wagner and Prigozhin's dismissal is imminent. She wrote on Telegram, "The only possibility now is absolute obliteration, with the Wagner group's resistance being the only variable." She went on to say that despite the fact that there was no immediate indication that Vladimir Putin's hold on power was in danger, the dramatic incident will probably harm his standing. Many in the elite will now personally blame Putin for allowing the situation to escalate to such extremes and for not responding appropriately and promptly, the article states. The attempt to topple the leadership of the Defense Ministry was also deemed unlikely to succeed by the Institute for the Study of War, a think tank based in the United States. This was due to the fact that Prigozhin was unlikely to gain support from Russian military officers and Putin had recently aligned himself more strongly with the Moldy.